Um, on a different note, um, when you look online and you look over all the kind of videos that are out there, like atheists versus non-atheists versus Muslims versus Christians, um, most of the onages are by atheists of everybody else. I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at like the videos, everybody else pretty much gets like ripped apart. The only other position which is really I've ever seen hold its own weight was the position of just like denying any meaningful label. Like I think Sam Harris does this. He's like, I don't call myself anything. I just advocate rationality and scrutiny and freedom of speech, stuff like that. So which makes sense in a way because non irreligion sort of falls out of that because it just buckles under scrutiny.
Definitely. Anything that is what I would call true would definitely stand up to scrutiny. And but here's one of the opponents, I guess, in terms of if there was ever sort of a mission statement or a crusade, I guess, or an atheist cause. It is taboo to criticize and scrutinize one's religion. There are some religions that will label you as racist for criticizing it. Yeah, cough, cough, Islam. It is, first of all, let's just say, it is not racist at all to scrutinize the religion of Islam as for any other religion in the world, including Ireland, where they passed a blasphemy law where I can't criticize another person's religion on threat of, I don't know, jail time or at least a fine. How ridiculous is this? And this is one thing that, if anything, will open up someone's mind. It's the accessibility to ideas and understanding of the most ideas as possible. Like, open your brain. Don't take just one person's word for it. Take it, look it up, get all the information possible. But as long as it is taboo to scrutinize one's religion, you're gonna hurt their feelings. Oh no. It's a conversation stopper, and it really needs to be eradicated, this taboo.
Yeah, I agree entirely. I mean, the other day at work, I heard a woman claiming that she was cursed by God. I mean, it's so absurd that I can't like laugh at that in public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's really ridiculous. Just imagine somebody's like, I lost my Word document. That must mean Almighty Zeus has cursed me. If somebody said that, I'd be like, ha ha ha, that's funny, because it'd be like a joke, and I'd be like, that's funny. This is also a joke, and it's also funny, but you're not allowed to laugh at it, because the other person's going to get offended. It's like they're pulling the offense card at every single turn. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how can you be so offended at every possible thing that is in any way in conflict with your pre-existing dogma? It's absurd.
Totally. And
so one thing I would say is that I think nothing is more valuable than being proven wrong. And every time somebody can prove me wrong in a major point, I usually applaud that because it means I've come significantly closer to understanding something. And to just be fundamentally against changing your mind only proliferates suboptimal memes.
would you care to explain that? I know what you mean, but by proliferating suboptimal memes, you mean to say that it is you're just letting the memes run wild, and you're just letting them survive. You're like coddling them in a way by your ignorance.
Yeah, if you look at it, if you have a certain amount of things that you could have in your head at a given time, your capacity of your mind is not infinite. So you have a certain amount of time, and religions essentially all promise you infinite time, and they do that with the one thing that they can't give you, which is that they promise you that you're gonna have infinite time, after you die. So it's like, isn't that convenient? They take your time, by promising you infinite time after you're dead. It's like, isn't that just the most transparent scam? And
No, totally.
who's benefiting from this?
Yeah, exactly. Who is benefiting? Just if you just took a step back and then ask yourself, is someone making money off of this? Yes. Who's making money off of it? The people who are telling you that you should believe, that you need to worship.
But the problem is that they themselves are brainwashed. It's not like they're making it's like they're brainwashed themselves, and then now they're brainwashing you, but they're already brainwashed. So it's like, in some sense, they genuinely believe it. You know, you have to sort of agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you essentially, what was I saying?
I don't know, but you reminded me of something when you said that the yeah, it's true. I mean,
What?
an anti-theist would speak of the clergy as like these demons, and we can go into a whole other thing about whether child rape, yeah, exactly, whether clergy should be trusted with children. I'm gonna
stem cell research.
yeah, and condoms, and we can totally get into all that with the Pope and specific bad priests. I'm going to reserve judgment for the time being, at least for a number of points. But until we get to that point, what was I going to say? Oh, fuck, man! I spent so much time talking about my original point. Oh, sorry. Here's what it is. When you said that, and we'll cut to this, that the priests themselves are brainwashed, right?
Yeah.
And that reminds me of think of this anecdote, sort of this symbolic or metaphorical anecdote. There's a whole bunch of gorillas in a cage. Let's say there's 4 gorillas in a cage, in a big cement cage, and in the middle of them is a ladder or a large pedestal that they can climb up.
Mm-hmm.
At the top of the pedestal is a bunch of bananas. They see the bunch of bananas, all 4 gorillas go for the bananas, and then they start climbing the pedestal. And then the observer will shock the pedestal, electrocuting the gorillas, giving them a nasty shock. And they're like, that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another version of this with where they spray with water.
It sounds pretty cruel, but okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cruel. And so and they keep doing this. They keep on and they keep on trying, and they keep on getting electrocuted or sprayed down until eventually they learn to not go for the bananas on the top. They're like, I know that this is going to hurt me. And so then they take out one gorilla and replace it with a new gorilla. New gorilla sees the bananas on top of the pedestal, goes for it. And the funny thing is that the other gorillas gang up on it and start beating it up.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell? And let's say it goes for it again. They all start beating it up. And it's like, wow, if I go for this, I'm going to get beat up by gorillas. They take out another original gorilla. They replace it with a new gorilla. The new gorilla goes for the bananas. All the old gorillas go for it. The previous gorilla also goes for it because it's learned the behavior to beat up the new gorilla. It learned its lesson. They repeat this process where they replace the old gorillas with new gorillas. And then eventually all the gorillas are beating on this new gorilla without knowing why in the first place they were beating. Like, they have no idea about the electrocution. They just know that if someone goes for these bananas, they're supposed to beat them. And what I'm saying is that, like, with brainwashing, these gorillas that are beating you are like the priests. And the congregation is this new gorilla just coming in. La-li-da, I see like this house, and now I'm being taught this lesson by a certain authority, because someone gave them the authority, until you don't even know where the origin stems from.